The beginning of the year is a good time to really take stock of your career. You have to sit down, see what worked for you last year, what can be improved for this year, what were your wins, what were even your losses. So whereas I'm really not a fan of making, New Year resolutions, I really don't believe resolutions work. I'm a great fan of making goals and working towards achieving those goals. So in today's video, I'll share with you what I learned about the previous year and my 3 takeaways. And these are my 3 takeaways from the previous year. So lesson number 1, I learned that you do have to find a job that you enjoy. And the reason is because if you look at 24 hours, we spend most of our time in our jobs. So can you imagine if you are doing something for 8 hours or 10 hours and this is not something that you enjoy, it's not something that you are passionate about. So whereas if you look at face value, you might say, okay, I need to go to this job, make a living, get paid so that I can pay rent and food. But what is it doing to your stress levels? What is it doing to your health? And I thought about this point because even whereas I'm not employed, sometimes you'll find clients who give you assignment and you're not passionate about the assignment they're giving you, or for one reason or another, you don't like the client. Maybe the client is making too many demands, or the client really doesn't understand what they need, so you keep making changes here and there. So I've come to see that it's really, really important for you to focus on where, you are happy on assignments or jobs that you're passionate about, because that's the only time you can be able to give your best. And remember, the reality is most of the jobs, after some time, they become boring. Whether you're at the MD level or whether you're at the entry level, the reality is the more you do a job, the more a job becomes a routine. To some extent, it will become boring. And what you keep you going after the job becomes boring is because of your passion. So if you really like talking to people, you wouldn't mind even this sales job, because even if you face rejection, if you are passionate about meeting new people, talking about the product or services that you have, then that will keep you going even if the job becomes routine. And this is something you can be able to do 1 year in, 1 year out. So think about your health. Think about the current job that you have. If you find that the job is giving you more stress than satisfaction, then it's a high time you thought about your career. My second lesson is the need to look after yourself. And here I'm talking about making health a priority. Now, the last 2 years we've been talking about issues to do with COVID. And over and beyond COVID, you need to think about your mental health and mental well-being. Sometimes we work in institutions where, toxic work environment. You could be reporting to these boss or supervisor who you don't see eye to eye. You could be in an institutions where you don't believe in what they do. Some of the institutions or businesses, they could be engaged in unethical behavior, and that might be affecting your mental well-being. So again, just like point number 1, if you're somewhere where you are not, where it's affecting your health, you really need to focus on yourself as opposed to the job. Because job, you can always get another job, Yes, you might struggle, you might be out there for 2 or 3 months still applying for jobs, but it's much better to be somewhere where your health is okay as opposed to be in an institution where all you are doing with your salary is going to buy medication. So for me, that's a key lesson. And like I said, yes, whereas I'm not employed, at the end of the day also, if I interact with clients who are causing me more stress, I've found that my well-being comes first, as opposed to earning a paycheck. And lastly, and very important, is on the need for us to invest and take charge of our careers. Now, most of the time, when it comes to career growth, we think that it's the responsibility of the employer, our boss or our supervisor, to take us to the next level. Yes, they do have a role to play. Your employer, your boss has a role to play in terms of your career growth. However, 80% of the effort must come from you. So my challenge to you is look back at 2021. How did you invest in your career? Did you take a short course? Did you attend a seminar? Did you talk to a mentor or a coach on how you can be able to get to the next level? Because the reality is, the people who are able to succeed is because they're investing in their career. And I want you to look at even the companies that have big names that are making money. For example, if I ask you of a company in the telecommunication industry, you most likely tell me, you'll mention Safaricom. And the reason why Safaricom comes to mind is because they're always sending us SMS alerts on this promotion or that. You always see them on billboards. They're always on advertising on social media. So the company is investing in either getting you as a customer or retaining you as a customer. So whereas you can't advertise yourself, there are specific things you can do to improve your career. Go for that short course. Take additional responsibility. Learn new skills. Look at your CV. Is it professionally made? Learn how to do well in interviews. And there are a lot of resources online where you can be able to really get a lot of advice on how to become a better professional. So that way, when opportunity comes, it will find you prepared, as opposed to you sitting there and relying on hope and hoping that things will become better. That never works. So for me, those are the 3 lessons I've learned in the last year. I look forward to implementing them even further in this new year. And I'm sure if you implement what I've shared with you, you're going to have a successful 2022. So thank you very much for watching. Now, this is the start of the year. This is the first video. So if you're a subscriber, are there topics that you'd want me to address? Is there something that I talked about last year that impacted on you? So please do comment, leave a comment, and I'll be able to look at it and think about those topics in the upcoming videos. If this is your first time you're watching this video, or you visited this channel, do subscribe, because on a weekly basis we do have fresh videos. Thank you very much, and all the best.